Hi everyone, we've all been told since we were little that a guy is healthy, affluent, and wise if he goes to bed and wakes up early. Like eating our meals or drinking water every day, that proverb has essentially become a basic truth. We all hold this belief, particularly as we approach old age. But what if I told you today that this particular habit, which we value above all else, could be a fatal error? 99% of seniors are now making this error, an error that can be silently ruining your health. Please consider this for a moment. Have you ever woken up feeling drowsy, exhausted, and utterly devoid of energy despite going to bed earlier than everybody else? Do you often wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning, feel utterly awful, and spend hours staring at the ceiling till the sun rises? If your response is in the affirmative, there's a good chance that going to bed too early is the source of your issue. Now, I'm not merely frightening you with sensationalism. As a physician who has spent decades treating patients over 70, I am here to inform you that these are the most recent and pressing reminders from recent scientific findings. We frequently believe that getting more sleep is beneficial. We will be healthier the earlier we go to bed. However, by doing this, we are neglecting our biological clock, the most complex and delicate machine in our own bodies. And, people, that clock has subtly and irreversibly changed after the age of 70. The enigma of scientific sleep after 70 will be revealed in today's video. We'll examine the specific reasons why going to bed early is no longer appropriate. Most significantly, we will determine the ideal time to go to bed and the precise amount of time we need to sleep in order to fully rejuvenate our bodies and minds. And please watch this through to the end with patience, because in the very end, I'll reveal a very straightforward secret, a tiny adjustment that might permanently alter how you handle waking up in the middle of the night. I genuinely want to know how many of us have experienced this before we get started. Please take a time to leave a simple yes in the space provided below if you can relate to what I have described, or if you have ever spent those nights staring at the ceiling. It lets me know that you get it and lets people in our community know they're not alone. All right, let's begin. Now, let's get started with the first section of our conversation. We will discuss the two main reasons why, after the age of 70, going to bed early is no longer appropriate for our bodies. This serves as the basis. Everything else will make perfect sense once you get this. First of all, your biological clock has altered. This is the most significant and basic explanation. We frequently make ourselves go to bed, but our bodies and minds aren't prepared. You can see that your brain has a sleep commander-in-chief. Melatonin is its scientific name. It can be compared to a free, natural sleeping drug produced by your body. It's a lovely system. Your brain begins to manufacture the chemical when it becomes dark outside, and you begin to experience that soft, warm wave of drowsiness as your blood levels rise. Your body senses that it's time to slumber when your eyelids become heavy. The brain stops producing it when the sun rises and you awaken on your own. This clock has been quite dependable throughout your entire life. However, this is a crucial fact that we were never informed. The complex internal clock experiences two significant alterations after the age of 70. First, your body begins to create less melatonin. For many, it may be as little as half of what it was in their younger years. This indicates that the sleep signal is simply weaker. It's not so much a loud order as it is a whisper. Second, and this is the bit that really irritates me, that signal has a delayed time. It appears later. Your brain may have begun sending such powerful signals to go to sleep around 9 p.m. when you were 40 or 50 years old. Sharp, however, that signal may not even begin to ramp up until after 10 p.m. at 70 or 75. Let's call my patient Robert. Throughout his life, Robert was a proud early riser, going to bed by 8:30 and falling asleep by 9 p.m. Thinking that this was the pinnacle of healthy life, he continued this habit into retirement. But he was very upset when he came to me. He would lie awake in bed starting at 8:30. The ticking clock would be audible to him. He would begin to worry about his health, his children, and his money. He admitted to me that he felt inadequate. "Why can't I even do something as basic as sleep, doctor?" Robert did not fail. He had just arrived to a race that had not yet begun. When your brain doesn't release melatonin until 10 k's, forcing yourself to go to bed at 8 or 9 is similar to an Olympic athlete. Before the starting pistol even fires, the gun is jumped. Your body and brain are still completely awake, but your mind wants to go to sleep. You toss, you turn, which is the inevitable outcome. You get more alert the harder you try to fall asleep. We must cease battling our own biology. Instead of using the clock from 30 years ago, we must learn to pay attention to this new one. The second reason is that your body no longer truly needs rest. This second justification complements the first. Even though our lifestyle has entirely changed, we still attempt to get enough sleep according to an outdated timetable. Recall your years of employment. You were managing a household, raising children, dealing with deadlines and supervisors, and commuting. You expended a tremendous amount of energy each day, both intellectually and physically. Your body and mind were completely exhausted by the conclusion of the day. It wasn't only an excellent idea to sleep, it was an intense biological desire. However, as we get older, life has slowed down, which is a lovely and well-earned thing. Our days are not the same. We might chat with family, read, garden, or engage in other hobbies. It moves more slowly. Wear and tear and overall energy cost are just lower. This implies that your body isn't overly exhausted by 8 p.m. You're not worn out. You're not as exhausted and crumbling as you once were. Margaret was a beautiful patient of mine. She was quite irritated. "Doctor, I just read my book and did a little gardening, but I've been in bed for 9 hours and I still wake up feeling tired. What's wrong with me?" she said. I asked her to visualize her body as a car. I continued, "Margaret, when you were working and raising your family, you were driving that car 150 miles every single day. Of course, it needed a full tank of gas every single night, but now you're just driving it a few laps around the neighborhood. The car is fine, but by 8 p.m., the gas tank is still nearly full, and you're insisting on driving it back to the gas station to top it off. It just doesn't need it." That analogy made sense to her. Many of us are experiencing this. We have both a physical lack of need due to a slower lifestyle and a physiological lack of signal due to the delayed melatonin. Going to bed early is no longer a virtue when these two factors come together. It becomes a formula for annoyance. Okay, let's go on to the second section. What's the real harm in going to bed early if all it causes is tossing and turning? A lot of people believe it's okay. I'm at least lying in bed and resting, even if I can't sleep. As your physician, I must warn you people that belief is a grave and perhaps harmful error. It is not rest to lie in bed for hours without sleeping. There are two major health hazards associated with it. The first risk is sliding into the junk sleep trap. I strongly want you to keep this idea in mind. Please don't forget this. Long sleep does not equate to good sleep. The amount of time we spend on the pillow does not, I repeat, determine the quality of our sleep. The depth of our sleep determines it. You can observe that your sleep is composed of various phases or cycles. Both deep and light sleep are experienced by you. The power is in that profound sleep. Your body and brain actually heal throughout that stage. The housekeeping staff comes in to clean the house, repair muscle tissue, and solidify memories. This is the issue. The amount of time we spend in that crucial deep sleep decreases significantly as we age. Rather, we find ourselves trapped in that stage of shallow light sleep for an increasing amount of time. You're half dreaming, half awake, and quickly awakened by the slightest sound in this state. This is what I refer to as trash sleep. It's similar to junk food. It has little nutritious value for your body or brain, but it does pass the time. Furthermore, poor sleep has far more detrimental effects than just making you feel a bit exhausted. There are 3 primary repercussions. The first and most noticeable is that you wake up still feeling worn out. The traditional sign is this one. Even when you've been in bed for 8 or 9 hours, you wake up feeling as though you haven't slept at all. It feels like your body is rigid. You may even feel lightheaded or unsteady because your cognition is clouded. Secondly, a heavier load on your heart. This one is more terrifying because it is unseen. Your heart rate and blood pressure should decrease while you are truly deep asleep. This is the overnight getaway for your cardiovascular system. It's time to relax and heal. However, your system remains in standby mode when you are trapped in garbage sleep. Your heart rate remains high. Your blood pressure doesn't decrease appropriately. All night long, your heart is having to put forth extra effort. This gradually raises your risk of arrhythmia, high blood pressure, and other cardiac disorders. Third, there is no cleaning of your brain. This is crucial. Your brain takes out the trash during the deep sleep phase. It features a unique cleansing system that removes dangerous proteins and poisons that accumulate throughout the day. You can't get rid of that trash if you don't get enough deep sleep. Short-term effects of this include delayed reflexes, forgetfulness, and brain fog. Long-term research has unmistakably connected a persistent absence of deep sleep to a markedly increased risk of memory loss disorders. So please, let's stop chasing hours. We must no longer be content to simply lie down. We must begin seeking genuine, excellent, profound sleep. The second risk is the vicious cycle and psychological strain. Although it does not originate from the outside, this second risk is equally harmful. It originates in the space between our ears. It is the psychological strain of attempting to fall asleep. The instant that terrible notion enters your mind while you're lying down. Oh no, what happens if I have trouble falling asleep tonight? You have initiated a chemical reaction within your body at that very moment. That worry is perceived as a danger by your brain. Additionally, it responds to a threat by doing what it was intended to accomplish. Cortisol and other stress chemicals are released. The fight or flight hormone is now cortisol. It's meant to alarm you. In order to fend off a predator, it causes your heart to beat more quickly, your thoughts to race, and your entire body to go into high alert. However, in this instance, the predator you are attempting to combat is your own sleep-related anxiety. You're making it chemically impossible to rest because you are trying so hard. Because you're anxious about being awake, your body is overflowing with awareness. This group of people produces an absolutely horrible, vicious loop. This is how it works. Your body tenses up and releases stress chemicals when you can't sleep, which naturally makes it harder to fall asleep and increases your anxiety. Every day, I observe this pattern. And what do many of us do to make up for that awful night? In the middle of the afternoon, we take a long snooze, lasting 2 or 3 hours. Or we get up at 7 in the morning. However, doze in and out of that garbage sleep zone till 9:30. Even while these behaviors may seem reassuring at the time, they are paradoxically undermining your body's innate need to sleep at night. By using up all of your daytime sleepiness, you're ensuring that the issue will recur tonight. It's a self-defeating cycle. This cycle needs to be broken. And don't worry, the answer is on the way. In fact, please do me a favor if you have ever been caught in the vicious cycle I just described, the worry loop. Simply leave a remark on the word cycle below. It's a means of admitting the issue and the first step towards resolving it. Now that we have a clear understanding of the issue, let's move on to the positive aspect. How can I get out? The most significant aspect of our time together is this. I'll share the golden formula with you. This is a novel, scientifically grounded method for obtaining genuinely restorative, high-quality sleep. It consists of 4 essential components. Finding your golden window and duration is the first element. Everyone asks me this question, which is the first component. Just let me know what time I should go to bed, doctor. Okay, here's the solution. The golden window between 9 p.m. is the best time for you to go to bed, according to your new biological clock, which is a little bit later. And 10 p.m., why this particular window? It's easy. At this point, your brain is finally beginning to produce the maximum amount of melatonin. You are no longer jumping the gun if you wait until this window. Instead of struggling against your body's natural rhythm, you are working with it. You're following the current. How long should you sleep is the second component of this element. The sweet spot for the majority of seniors is roughly 7 hours per night. Please pay attention to what I'm saying. Unlike when we were 40, we don't have to push ourselves to get 8 or 9 hours. As we just spoke about, making yourself stay in bed longer only makes you spend more time in that useless junk sleep. In fact, it lessens your sense of restoration. Do you recall Robert, my patient, who would retire to bed at 8:30 and spend hours brooding? One little adjustment was made. His bedtime was rescheduled to 1000 p.m. At first, he was anxious, but he trusted the procedure, saying, "Doctor, that feels so late." In just 1 week, he returned and informed me that he would fall asleep in 15 minutes rather than 2. He was feeling better than he had in years, but he was getting less sleep. This is your new objective then. 8 hours in bed is not the objective. 7 hours of good sleep is the new objective. Never forget that quality, not quantity, is what we are aiming for. Develop your sleep-promoting ritual as the second component. At 10 o'clock at night, you can't merely use the brakes and anticipate falling asleep right away. The plane must be gently landed. You must begin this sleep-promoting procedure an hour before your head touches the pillow. For this ceremony, I'll provide you with a straightforward 3-step checklist. The first step is to remove the blue light, and this is not negotiable, people. It's bedtime, 1 hour before your golden window. Please turn off the television, turn off the computer, and put down the phone. The biggest threat to melatonin is the strong blue light from these screens. Your brain is tricked into believing that it is still high noon. Active relaxation is the second step. Do something to relax your nervous system instead than looking at a screen. Soaking your feet in warm water is my personal favorite advice for my patients. Roughly 104 degrees Fahrenheit. 104 degrees is ideal. Give them a 15-minute soak. This sends a strong, calming signal throughout your body by drawing blood from your head and down to your feet. Other fantastic choices include reading a physical book, a rail, or a paper book beneath a single warm yellow light, or listening to gentle instrumental music. Establish the appropriate setting in the third step. 3 requirements must be met by your bedroom. It must be cool, dark, and silent. Yes, that's cool. To start and sustain deep sleep, your body's core temperature actually needs to drop by 1 or 2 degrees. You will sleep much better in a little cooler room than in a warm, cozy one. Make use of blackout curtains. Hide the little LED lights on your devices. Your bedroom ought to be your haven for rest. Margaret the gardener, one of my patients, used to watch the 10 What news in bed. It was the worst thing she could have done. Just before she wanted to go to sleep, the stories were bright, light, and frightening. We replaced that habit with a chapter of a book and a 15-minute foot bath. Her nights were completely changed by that small adjustment. Create your own 1-hour ritual tonight. Put the phone away, cool the environment, warm your feet, and get your body ready for sleep. The third component is the 20-minute rule, which is the key to managing nighttime awakenings. Okay, so here is the third piece. This is the major one. I told you this secret at the beginning. What should I do, doctor? When I wake up around 2 in the morning, what do I actually do? I need you to pay close attention to what I have to say first. It is a perfectly typical physiological occurrence to wake up once or twice during the night. It's not an illness. It's not a failure. It is very prevalent, particularly as we age. You don't have to worry about it. Not waking up is the issue. Our response to it is the issue. Lying there, gazing at the clock, and initiating that anxiety-inducing cycle is the issue. This is your new strategy then. It's a methodical scientific approach. I refer to it as the 20-minute rule. This is a step-by-step explanation of how it operates. First, you awaken. The first thing you should do is to avoid looking at the time. Don't at all. Your brain will begin calculating, oh no, it's 2:30. I only have 3 hours left. As soon as you glance at the clock, the worry cycle will begin. Don't watch the clock then. 2. You lie peacefully. You need to get up quietly and firmly if you feel like you have been awake for around 20 minutes and you are still wide awake and not falling asleep. Get out of bed. Third, move to a different space, like the living room. Make sure the lights are very low. All you need is one gentle little lamp. Sip slowly from a small glass of warm or room temperature water, or simply relax on the couch and take several calm, deep belly breaths. You're not making an effort. You're just unwinding. 4. This is the most crucial phase. You only go back to bed when you're truly tired once more. That's the secret. You only return to bed when your eyelids begin to feel heavy and you sense that wave of weariness coming back. Why is this effective? It's very clever. It first breaks the vicious cycle of anxiety. More significantly, though, it rewires your brain. Your brain learns a potent new association from it. It educates your brain that sleeping is the main purpose of the bed, not tossing, turning, and fretting. For Robert, this rule was a complete game changer. He assured me he was no longer afraid of waking up. He simply accepted it. He would get up, head to the living room, and spend 15 minutes reading an extremely dull magazine, and he would retire to bed and fall asleep as soon as he sensed the drowsiness returning. You may regain your nights by following this one little rule. The fourth element is to take care of your sleep during the day. And lastly, the fourth element. Of all, this may be the most deep. 900 p.m. is hardly the beginning of a restful night's sleep. At 9 a.m., it begins. All of your waking hours are actually spent laying the foundation and getting ready for sleep. I'll share 2 important daytime routines with you. The best daytime habit is to get more sunlight. The most effective, all-natural, and cost-free method for improving your sleep is sunlight. Every day, you need to spend at least half an hour outside in the sun. Crucially, make an effort to receive that morning sunlight. This is the reason. Your brain receives a strong signal from the brilliant morning light that strikes your eyes. Your biological clock is set by this signal, which says, "It is daytime. Wake up. Be alert." It creates an ideal 24-hour schedule for your clock. Your brain will know precisely when to release the sleep signal melatonin at night if it receives a strong awake signal in the morning. It increases the strength, accuracy, and dependability of your evening signal. The second habit for the day is to continue moderate exercise. Do you recall our metaphor of the car? Do you recall the petrol tank? The car must be driven by you. You must put that energy to use. You don't have to run a marathon to achieve what I refer to as healthy fatigue. You may do this by taking a quick stroll, practicing Tai Chi, doing moderate yoga, gardening, or doing anything else that slightly raises your heart rate and works your muscles. At the end of the day, you must give your body a cause to be exhausted. For Robert, this was the last piece of the puzzle. He embraced the 1000 p.m. bedtime, but he was also a pretty sedentary person. One easy addition was a 30-minute walk every morning, rain or shine. The physical exercise combined with the morning sun, it was enchanted. However, a very essential caution: exercise should be done with caution. The ideal time is right before bed. You should not engage in any intense, heart-pounding exercise within 3 hours of bedtime. An intense workout at 8 p.m. will increase your heart rate and core body warmth, the exact opposite of what your body needs to accomplish in order to go to sleep. Your daytime task is therefore easy. Step outside in the morning light. Make physical movements. Make use of your energies. At night, you'll earn your rest. Okay, people, together, we have traveled quite a distance today, haven't we? Because we were unable to obtain a basic night's sleep, we began this movie feeling exhausted, irritated, and possibly even a little bit of a failure. We were clinging to the outdated notion that going to bed early was the only option, and it was no longer effective. Today has taught us to finally let go of that antiquated idea that was no longer useful to us. To help you remember the diamonds and the important lessons we've discovered together, let's summarize them. We are first dispelling a myth. For us, going to bed early and waking up early are no longer indisputable after the age of 70. It's acceptable that our bodies and clocks have altered. Secondly, we are recalling a different period of time. Right now, 9 p.m. is our best time to sleep, and 1000 p.m. Additionally, we aim for roughly 7 hours of real high-quality sleep rather than 8 or 9 hours of restless nights. Thirdly, we are getting ready to succeed. During the day, we'll accomplish this by exercising our bodies and taking use of the beautiful morning sunlight. And we'll accomplish that at night by establishing a routine, staying away from that blue light, and creating a calm, quiet, and cool haven in our bedrooms. Fourth, we are embracing normalcy. When we wake up, we won't panic. We'll use that great 20-minute guideline to address it calmly, reacting scientifically rather than fearfully. Please, people, keep this in mind if nothing else. Your body has a mild natural urge to sleep. You are not required to finish it. You are not failing this test. Please don't blame yourself for your inability to fall asleep. Don't let the fact that you woke up in the middle of the night make you feel like a failure. You don't realize how much wiser your body is. When it really needs to relax, it knows better than you. All we have to do is pay attention to it and make the most tranquil environment we can from the inside out. After that, we simply let go. When you are able to let go of your sleep-related worry, we have faith. You will be astounded when you can approach it with this new, calm, and scientific mindset. Sweet, deep, rejuvenating sleep will come back to you organically and gradually. As we come to a close, we have discovered an entirely new perspective on sleep. However, as I always say, knowledge is only effective when it is applied. I have a crucial question for you now. What is the one pledge? After seeing this video, what one minor adjustment are you going to make for yourself this week? I could just make a commitment to get my 30 minutes of morning sun. Instead of just lying there worrying, I might attempt that 20-minute rule at last. Alternatively, I might simply put my phone away an hour before going to bed. In the space provided for comments below, kindly share your personal dedication. Let's commit to ourselves and encourage one another to take that initial, vital step. And if our time together today brought you genuine value and perhaps even a little serenity, please express your support by liking this video. Above all, consider a single person, a friend, a sibling, or your spouse who you know is dealing with the same issue. Kindly show them this video. Your tiny act of generosity has the potential to significantly improve their quality of life. Lastly, kindly hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to ensure that you stay on this journey with us and never miss any video rich of wisdom for our senior years. It goes beyond simply subscribing. It's becoming a part of a group of people who are committed to living our best lives together. I sincerely appreciate your trust and time. I'll see you in the upcoming video.